Good afternoon, everyone, and you're welcome to today's webinar. My name is Brian Russell, and I'll be your moderator for today. In behalf of Zoracom, I say thank you and welcome to today's discussion. And our topic is optimizing inventory and asset flow with serviceX. Now, see, efficient inventory and asset management play a key and critical role in ensuring smooth business operations. Today, we will explore how organizations can achieve this using the platform serviceX. Our speaker for today is Mrs. Philomena Egwe, who will be taking us on the discussion today. Mrs. Philomena.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. It's my pleasure for me to be your speaker today. Thank you very much.
All right, you're most welcome.
Yeah.
So before we talk about the solutions, it's important to understand why this inventory and asset management is important. Why is it why does it have a critical part for operations for organizations today? So the question, Mrs. Philomena, please, can you tell us why is inventory and asset management such a critical part of service operations?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Brian. Inventory and asset management is actually critical because it sits at the core of service operations. Every service an organization delivers depends on having the right assets available, visible, and properly managed, right? So when inventory is not well managed, several issues can arise. Assets becomes difficult to track, you see, which makes it hard for teams to know what is available or where it is. So this can often lead to inventory discrepancy, right? Where records don't match actual stock. So as a result, you can see downtime increases because teams cannot respond quickly and operational costs begin to rise due to delays, repeated work, or emergency procurement. For example, a field engineer may be assigned to resolve a fault, but on getting there, the required equipment is either unavailable or cannot be located. So, of course, that delay can directly impact their service delivery and even impact their customer satisfaction. So, on the other hand, when inventory is properly managed, you see organizations, they begin to see clear benefits. They achieve better resource utilization, meaning assets are used efficiently. And this can lead to improved service delivery because teams can respond faster and also reduce operational risk. So in summary, I would say effective inventory and assets management helps organizations to move from inefficiency and uncertainty to a more visibility and control and a more reliable service delivery.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. I agree with that. So clearly, the explanation shows how effective asset management and inventory, it directly supports service efficiency, and also operational stability.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. Now, what are some of the challenges to this? See, many organizations today, they still rely on the manual processes of keeping their inventory and assets.
Yes.
Some who try to be innovative, they still keep it in fragmented systems like the Excel. So, but Mrs. Philomena, from your experience, what are some of the common challenges organizations face when managing inventory and assets? Please tell us.
All right. From my experience, I'll say that organizations face lack of visibility and control over their inventory and assets management. That's what I've experienced so far. That's what I've seen, and which is impacting most organizations today. If we look at this more closely, you see that one major issue is scattered assets records across different systems. Many organizations manage their inventory using things like spreadsheets, emails, or even manual logs. which can create silos, whereby different teams end up working with different versions of the same data, right? Because of this, there is often lack of real-time visibility. It becomes difficult for these teams to answer some simple but critical questions. Questions like, what assets do we currently have? Where are they located? Are they available or already assigned? Another challenge is manual inventory tracking, which is prone to human errors. Assets may be deployed, but not updated in the system immediately, and that can lead to inaccurate records. Organizations can also struggle with managing assets across multiple locations or regions. Some organizations, they have branches in different places. If their assets and inventory are not well managed, you see them, it becomes difficult for them to manage. You understand? Without a centralized system. So without a centralized system, like one of our solutions, which is serviceX, it's difficult for them to track movement of equipment or ensure balanced distribution across, different sites. So all of these challenges can lead to, inefficiency, like I said earlier, delays, poor planning, which is why many organizations are now moving from, moving towards automated system or a centralized system inventory management solution like the serviceX I just explained. So those are the challenges of that organizations face of lack of assets and inventory management.
Thank you very much. That's a very, very insightful point. And it clearly highlights why organizations are now moving or they are looking for more centralized system and automated approaches when it comes to inventory management.
Yeah.
serviceX. Yes. Now that we understand the challenges, we understand the reason why an inventory management system is important. Let us now talk about how technology can actually aid organizations in this aspect. So, for our participants, Philomena, who are not too familiar with it, could you please briefly explain what serviceX is and how it also supports service operations?
All right. serviceX is one of Zoracom technology solution. It's an automated solution, a unified service management systems for MNO, MVNO, ISPs, cloud service providers, and businesses. It is designed to coordinate daily activities for organization. It enables proactive response. It enhances their customer experience. It streamlines operations and even drive business growth. So this system actually leverages digital technology, like you just said. It leverages it to transform every touch point of an organization from start to finish. Every touch point, their interaction between all the stakeholders involved in delivering of services or products. This application also brings together different functions, such as incident management, service requests, customers' interactions, and most importantly, the inventory and asset management we are talking about right now. So the idea of this application is to eliminate fragmentation and provide a well-connected ecosystem where all stakeholders, operation teams, engineers, your vendors, and even customers, they can interact seamlessly without having issue. So imagine where a service request is raised. serviceX can automatically link that request to the required assets. You understand? So it then tracks the availability and even supports allocation of that asset. That's what serviceX is. So in summary, serviceX enables organizations to move from a disconnected process, a manual process, to a more integrated, efficient, and transparent way of managing their services. That is what serviceX is.
That's a very great explanation. Yes, serviceX clearly provides a unified platform for managing services operations, improving inventory management across the entire organization.
Yes.
That's quite a good one. So a good feature that a inventory management system have is supposed to be a centralized inventory.
Yeah.
One key aspect of inventory management and efficient inventory management is having a centralized system for tracking these assets.
Yes, of course.
So how does serviceX now help organizations to centralize and also simplify their inventory management? In what way?
All right. One of the key strengths of this very application, serviceX, is its ability to provide a centralized inventory and asset management system. It's one of the key strengths. So first, that allows organizations to manage inventory from a single dashboard, within a single dashboard. It means all assets, your devices, your equipment, and service components are handled within one platform, one dashboard, creating a simple source of truth. Instead of multiple multiple disconnected records, it's handled in one platform. Then secondly, serviceX enables teams to track assets and resources in real time. So whenever an asset is assigned or moved or used, that update is immediately reflected in that system, in that centralized system. So it helps to automate inventory updates. That reduces manual work and minimizes errors that usually come with, manual logs, spreadsheets, emails, things like that. So another point is that it improves asset visibility across locations. That means whether assets are in different branches, like I said earlier, or with the field engineers, teams can easily see where everything is at that particular time, at that given time. And finally, this level of control can help organizations to optimize their resource allocations. Since you know where those assets is available and where it is at that point in time, you can, of course, assign resources more efficiently, and that can help you avoid delays and unnecessary purchases. So overall, this centralized approach improves accuracy, accountability, and operational efficiency.
Thank you very much. Yes, and I agree with you. Having a single source of truth for assets and inventory, it is critical for an efficient operational and service for the organization. I agree. Very, very correct. Just to let our friends who are connected know that you can go to the chat section and drop questions that we'll be able to answer by the end of our discussion. Now, I would like you to please walk us through the key inventory management system of this business and the works
Before I go into the specific capability, it is actually important to highlight that automation sits at the core of serviceX inventory management, which means that most of these functions are not manual, right? They are not manual, they are system-driven, which helps reduce human errors. It improves speed and ensure real-time accuracy across operations. So with that in mind, let me now walk us through the key capability. Let's talk about real-time tracking. That's one of its capability. serviceX can provide real-time visibility into stock levels, asset availability, and location of each item. This means that your team can instantly know what is available, where it is, without guesswork or delays. No need for them to let me call to confirm, let me call. It's there. You track it as it's going, you understand? So imagine a customer issue requires urgent deployment. The operation team can quickly identify it and assign it to the nearest available assets. So which, of course, that will improve response time and service efficiency. So another thing, again, is multi-location management. Is one of its capability. serviceX can allow organizations to manage their inventory across multiple regions or multiple branches, different centers within a centralized system. You'll be able to track those assets in different regions, whereby you have clear visibility of what is available, where it is in those different regions. So there's no need for your superior or to start calling their team member. How many do we have? How many assets do we have in so branch? Can you please send me a mail of what is available on that system? Is in that centralized system. So this can ensure that assets are not managed in isolation. You understand? Teams can easily track movement, distribution across different locations. This is especially important for organizations operating across multiple sites. So, of course, it will improve their coordination and ensure balanced resource availability. Now, another thing again is stock alert and notification. The system provides proactive alerts when certain conditions are met, such as, let's say, low stock levels, overstock situations, or when critical items requires attention. So imagine if stock levels fall below a defined threshold, the system can immediately notify you. It will notify the relevant team that, this stock is no longer available. This is actually available. So it keeps giving them alerts, reminding them, notifying them that this is what is available and this is what is not available. So team, of course, they can be able to restock before it affects their operation. So in general, this helps organizations to act early instead of reacting late. So that is what it does. So lastly, another capability of this very solution is reporting and analytics. And you know that most organizations depends on this report for great decision making.
Yes.
Without a proper report, they won't be able to have a good decision making. So it's on what to do next. So these platforms gives every team, every department reports of everything that goes on the system, everything that goes on the organization relating to these assets and inventory management. They get everything, the analytics, how the trend is and all that. So serviceX provides detailed dashboards and reports that shows inventory trends, assets usage, and performance insights, which is most important to most organizations. It helps organizations to make better decision making, like I just explained earlier.
Yeah.
For example, if you are identifying frequently used assets, to ensure adequate stock, or spotting underutilized equipment, this company, they can quickly make decision and say, my team, you guys are not utilizing this equipment. They see it on the system because it gives them, great reporting analytics of their inventory. So overall, this system transforms inventory data into actionable insights that supports an organization planning, cost control, and operational efficiency.
Thank you very much. That's a fine one. A fine one. We appreciate. So we've now discussed these key features that you just listed and the capabilities of the serviceX platform.
Yeah.
So can we now look at the overall business impact? What key benefits do organizations expect when they optimize their inventory and asset flow using the serviceX platform? What are the benefits? Please tell us.
All right. When an organization optimizes their inventory and asset flow using serviceX, they can expect several key benefits across their operation. Firstly, it improves their service efficiency. serviceX can help reduce delays, like I explained, by streamlining their business process and optimize how resources are allocated. It also bridges gaps between teams, team member, which leads to more coordinated and streamlined service delivery. Teams becomes more coordinated because they get the clear visibility of everything that is ongoing. Secondly, it enhances their customer satisfaction, right? With when they have better visibility, fast access to their assets or their inventory, organization, they are able to improve their response time and their overall service delivery. And in addition, serviceX can support self-service capability. Yeah, that's one function of this serviceX, and that empowers customers and improves their experience. All right.
Yeah.
So, and thirdly, is stronger compliance. serviceX ensures that organizations can maintain regulatory and policy compliance by properly tracking assets and activities. It also provides secure audit trails, which improve accountability and make reporting easier. It's not like you don't have, good track of everything that is available. When audit comes, they want to see what you have, what a company is using, where it is at that particular point in time, who are the teams using it, what has been done. Those things put together, it helps to provide secure audit traits, and that improves accountability and make reporting much easier. Then fourthly is cost optimization. Okay. By automating tasks and workflow, services can reduce, manual effort and operational overhead. And this can help organizations cut unnecessary costs. Organizations are very much particular, but they don't want to spend unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So with that, it helps them to, cut unnecessary costs, reduces waste, and improve overall financial efficiency. So overall, the benefits ranges from operational efficiency to customer experience. You have compliance and cost savings. Like I said, the organization are very much particular about, cost savings. I think some time ago, I saw an organization that has some assets or inventory in their organization. Those inventory just had, I think they have very little fault. You see, team member, they just abandon those, they just abandon those equipment. But the managers or the head of operations might not know if those tools is just has very little fault. So they will just abandon it there. You understand? So, but with this system, you're able to track where those system is. Is it okay? Is it active? Is it being utilized? Things like that. So, and overall, it will help the organization to move from a reactive inventory management to a more proactive, efficient, and data-driven approach. So that is the overall benefit that organization can expect from using this serviceX application.
Thank you very much. That's a great summary, very great summary. So that is just the value that serviceX brings in terms of efficiency, visibility, and an improved service delivery and all. Thank you very much, Mrs. Philomena, for the time that you gave to us. Your explanations were very insightful.
Thank you.
So we'll now go into a short Q&A session where we will address a few additional questions organizations often ask. So we have a friend on the chat section here, and he asked, is serviceX platform, will it be used for reporting and tracking of inventory? That is what he's asking.
Of course. Like I explained earlier, serviceX has the capability to track assets. Like I explained earlier, is on the system, is part of its capability that wherever your asset is, your inventory, whether in different regions, maybe you are in Nigeria, in Abuja, in different regions, you'll be able to track where it is, where it's located. That is one of the core capability that serviceX has.
Well, that's a fine one. We hope we've answered your question. Thank you very much for the explanation.
Yes.
Now, another friend is asking, can serviceX support organizations that manage inventory across multiple locations or branches?
Absolutely. I think absolutely. I think I just explained that. Of course it does. It's actually one of the strengths of serviceX. Whether you're in Nigeria, you're in different region, anywhere in Nigeria at all, it tracks it. This is actually one of the capability of serviceX. It means that organization, they can monitor and manage assets across different branches, regions, or service center from that single dashboard, like I say, from that centralized system. Every team members have access to their own dashboard. They see what is ongoing, where the asset is, where is located. Of course, absolutely, it's one of the capability of serviceX. Imagine if one location is running low on a particular device, the system can help you identify it in another location with available stock, which can then enable quick redistribution of this asset instead of purchasing new equipment, being that in your own region, you don't know that that asset is available in another region. Yeah. So of course, you'll be able to, track those assets. So this kind of visibility and coordination is especially valuable for most telcos and service providers that are operating in multiple regions.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a fine one. Thank you so much. So because of our time, we'll be taking one more question. So we have a friend on the chat who is also asking, how easy is it for serviceX to integrate with other systems that an organization may be already using?
Oh, all right. serviceX is actually built with integration in mind. Yeah. So it's actually designed to connect easily with other systems, with an organization IT ecosystem. It supports integration with third-party applications, APIs, and existing business tools, such as, let's say, billing system, network monitoring tools, CRMs, platform. It supports it. It means that organizations don't just have to replace every single thing they are already using. Yes, instead, serviceX can work alongside existing systems, enabling seamless data flow and better coordination. So overall, integration is straightforward. It's flexible, it's designed to support scalability even as the organization grows.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the clear summary. We appreciate it a lot. And we hope that those in the audience now have a strong understanding of what serviceX is and the benefits of using this platform. So for more information, you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to us on info@zoracom.com. And you can follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, which is now X, so that you don't miss any new updates or any new innovative features that we may have. Thank you, Mrs. Philomena, for your valuable contribution in this discourse.
It's my pleasure.
Well done. And thank you to everyone who was able to join this webinar. And I say once more again, thank you. So we will see you on the next session.
All right. Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Mr. Brown. It's good to everyone.